Okay, maybe we're back. Are we back? I don't know how long I was off for. Sorry about that, you guys. Hi. Yeah, did it just drop out? Yeah, it just dropped out. Dang, I was off for like 10 minutes and didn't even realize it. Sorry. So I was apparently sitting in my room talking to myself for about 10 minutes because I did not realize that the stream had just dropped out entirely, which, so, you know, fun times. But I think we're back. Yes, you guys are only getting my background right now. I'm like switching it between like back and forth between some things because the way that I have my screen set up is weird right now. Okay. Ah, where did Param go? There we go. Hi everyone, I'm back. Like actually back. Because apparently I was on for like 3 minutes and then talking by myself to myself for like 10 minutes and did not realize that. Sorry about that. Does she have a trial? I don't actually like this is all happening so fast and I don't know what to say. Like honestly, I mean, if she has a trial, I might try her out, but I seem to here's the thing. I remember listening to her demos, but I do not remember what she sounds like, and I feel like that's pretty that speaks volumes as to how I felt about her voice. That is to say, I found it really forgettable. So I'm like, I might try it out. I don't ever dislike having new Vocaloids and Vocaloid trials to play around with, but as far as I can recall, she is not a voice that I really enjoy. And I say as far as I can remember because I just don't remember. So, if I've already forgotten what she sounds like, must not have liked her very much. Oh man, it's doing that thing again. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna split the difference and put it there. Was this one already done? I think this one was already done. Oops. Ew, what is that? Okay, yep, that's where that's going. Hi, new people. Yay, yeah, anyone who, so, to recap the apparent conversation that I was having with myself, so, sorry about the, stream being kind of, late this time, and also for it just randomly dropping out and me not realizing that. Yeah, the reason that it ended up being a little late is because I was a little late starting dinner, and I still had food on the stove when 9 o'clock rolled around, and I wasn't about to stream with hot food on the stove because, you know, burnt food isn't fun, and house fires are even less fun. So, sorry about that. And see, what else was I saying to myself? I don't actually know when it dropped out, so maybe some of you already heard me say some of these things. Yeah, I'm not expecting this stream to go on super, super long. Mostly, I just wanted to sort of use this as a way to keep myself, what's the word I'm looking for? Accountable for actually getting this auto done. So this might be what my next few streams end up being. Partly to keep myself accountable for getting it done, and also just so that you guys can see, hey, it's actually happening. Because any of you who have seen my Twitter probably think that I'm just using him to make the first half of 50 million covers, and I'm never going to actually finish him, and I don't want that to happen. So, yes. See, if the stream dropped out before I started talking about webcams, I do still want to get a webcam. I know I said like in my first stream that I would have a webcam, and now we're like 5 streams in and it still hadn't happened. But I do plan on actually getting one eventually, because I would like to you know, sort of have my face on the screen. Might be a little bit more interesting than just watching a disembodied voice and a cursor move around. But it seems to be that whenever I get on Amazon and get my paycheck, instead of going to webcams, I'm like, ooh, what's this fun new thing that I can try out this week? So, yeah, I have a set of 6 water brush pens coming in the mail, probably be here Monday, instead of a webcam. But I might, you know, be able to try out some watercolors and watercolor pencils, and maybe find a medium where my art doesn't always look like poop, because whenever I draw with pencil or pen on paper, it always looks like poop. So yeah, and I promise next stream I will give more than, like, you know, 4 hours of notice. The thing was that I had like planned, like, sort of not super set in stone plans for this weekend, and they didn't really get planned out until like last night. And I didn't want to set anything too far in advance, because I didn't want the stream to get in the way of me scheduling other things, like, you know, grocery shopping. So sorry about that, but I will try to be better about that next time. Let's see. So Moho Hands asked if ARPAsing or VCCV is easier to record. I have not recorded a full VCCV voice bank. I got about halfway through a pitch, a third, a half, something like that. And I personally didn't necessarily find it too much harder. I found it a little bit more cumbersome, simply because it's a little bit harder to think about the sounds and about your pronunciation out of the context of a word, because it's, you know, just random strings of phonemes put together, which you know, I feel like I can, having dealt with Vocaloid and UTAU and recording and stuff like that, it's not too hard for me to imagine, but at the same time, it's not necessarily like, you know, bam, I don't have to think about it. And the other thing about VCCV is just that it's so much recording, like, holy crap. So I can't necessarily speak from the experience of having recorded both, but based on my experience of having recorded, you know, 5 pitches of ARPAsing, and I'm sorry that I don't have my pop filter in front of me right now, having recorded 5 pitches of ARPAsing and recording like half a pitch of VCCV, my preference is for ARPAsing, simply because I think it's easier to it's a little bit easier to read. I don't like the phoneme system as much. I do like VCCV's phoneme system better in terms of its thoroughness. But I do feel like ARPAsing is a little bit easier to just like pick up and record, especially for people who don't have a whole lot of experience with vocal synths or how recording the voice bank works, because the words are fairly simple to just read, and you'll get pretty close to what it's supposed to be most of the time, whereas with VCCV you have to like be able to read these random strings and, you know, pronounce these random sounds out of context and, you know, read all of the different phonemes. So that's just my take on it. I do feel like both systems have their own advantages and disadvantages. It's just sort of a matter of preference and perhaps how much experience you have. And wow, that was a lot longer than I thought it would be. I'm super glad like Hoshi and all of you guys enjoy Kai's CV voice bank, because I can't stand listening to it. Like, I have no problem if you guys like it and want to use it, and I'm super glad that you guys like it and want to use it. It's just like, it's so old, and I feel like I can do so much better now, and I don't like, and you know, like, whenever I listen to it or use it, it's just like the only things I can hear is all of these little things that are wrong that I don't like anymore. So it's not necessarily that I think it's a bad voice bank, it's just that I feel like it's not as good as perhaps something that I could make now. I'd like to think anyways. I'd hope after 5 years they didn't get worse, but you know, who knows. There we go. Yeah, you guys might see Reaper pop up every once in a while. I think I talked about this in one of my other streams, but my audio driver with this interface does some really weird stuff where periodically it'll just sound like it's just been absolutely crushed by a bit crusher, and the only way I know how to fix it is by resetting the driver, and the easiest way I know how to do that is just open up Reaper and close it, because Reaper will reset the driver when it opens up. Wow, it's already happening again. No! Why is my audio so bad? I'm pretty sure it's okay for you guys because I've recorded when it was acting up before and the recording sounded fine. It just sounds bad on the output, and I don't know what's up with that, but you know, I might just have to deal with it. Sorry about the random sounds. I do, when I'm otoing, tend to like just listen to the same little segment over and over again, just to make sure that, you know, in addition to the visual feedback that I'm getting from set param, just to make sure that everything sounds about how it should. Yeah, let's see. I think if there's anything else remotely interesting to report back to you guys. Yeah, recording has been really slow, and by slow I mean non-existent. I do want to eventually record a Visual K style voice bank, but I think I still need to tweak my recording technique with that one a little bit. Because I tried it out and it sounded weird. So what I'm thinking is I might put that one on the back burner for a little bit, and then focus on maybe getting the Korean voice bank done with the Korean rec list that I'm trying to write, because I haven't really been a fan of how a lot of the other ones that I've seen have been laid out, so I guess I just took that if you want it done right, do it yourself kind of attitude. I mean, honestly, set param is just so much easier because it like lets you just like click up here and you can hear each section. You can have the spectrogram and the waveform open at the same time. You know, when you move stuff around, it all moves together instead of only moving one part, which is really annoying. You know, there are actual keyboard shortcuts and things like that too. Also, you can like, you know, edit the aliases and like type in the values and have this open at the same time, and it'll just immediately change it for you instead of having to like close it, hit OK, change the thing, hit OK again, and open it back up, which yeah. Like I recently started using set param, I don't know, late last year. Like Kai's Arpasing voice bank was all autoed through UTAU itself, but like since I've used set param, it's so much better, like honestly. There are other things that you can have it show on the screen, but I just don't find them as useful. Like, you can have it show the volume, and I'm going to have to move this up and it'll cover up part of the screen, but it'll show like the amplitude, basically show power. And you can also have it show F0, which is formant 0, which is the pitch curve, which I also don't use all that often. I did actually use more sampler for the bass, but yeah, I used more sampler for the bass, but then more sampler likes to set crap loads of overlap. Sorry, the rice cooker is going off, and for a second I thought it was like the fire alarm or something, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to die, but no, it just, my rice is ready, so yay. But more sampler likes to set like crap loads of overlap. It likes to make it like 140 milliseconds, which if you ask me is absolutely heinous. As you can see, I have it set to like 80 on everything. And the other nice thing about set param is that it will let you mass edit values in the auto, so I can go through here and just highlight the overlap row and just set it to 80, and it'll just set everything to 80. So yeah, if you ever have anything that you just need to like mass edit like that, set param is also super good for that. Yeah, I'm like, the thing about more samplers autos is that they're good for basses. They're good to get the aliases unless you're doing Japanese CVVC. Never use more sampler for that. But yeah, it just doesn't get the values really close in my experience. Eventually I plan on doing a voice bank with a lot of extras like that, but I feel like if I ever do anything like that, or like multi-expression or something like that, it's probably going to end up being a CVVC voice bank, just because A, it's way less recording, and B, I don't like multi-expression in VCV because you can always hear the expression change in the middle of the syllable because it always has that little bit of vowel before the consonant, and because everything is recorded in the same expression, when you change the alias or change the suffix to change the expression, it also changes that little bit of the vowel that's hanging off before the consonant, and I don't like hearing that tone change in the middle of syllables. Whereas with CVVC, because it's also split up at the consonant, you can set the expression to change at the consonant, and it's not nearly as noticeable. my thing about the really like huge overlap is just like the longer the overlap is, the longer the pre-utterance has to be, and then the longer the pre-utterance has to be, the longer the notes in UTAU the notes can only be so short in UTAU before you start getting weird dangly bits hanging past notes and you get exclamation points because the envelopes aren't right because the pre-utterance is so long and the note is so short, and then you start after having to go into the constant velocity and start changing those things, and it's a pain. So I'm like, the shorter I can have the overlap, and therefore the shorter I can have the pre-utterance, the less of that crap I have to worry about, especially when I'm doing faster songs or songs with shorter notes. There we go. Yeah, also I'm sorry for you guys, because this is his highest pitch, so it's like, you know, the high whiny one, so you guys get to hear me like, you know, not quite scream, but, you know, not super pleasantly sing into the microphone. Yeah, if you reduce the overlap, you can make the pre-utterance shorter, and then you don't have as much crap dangling off your notes, and you won't have to mess with the consonant velocity as much with short notes, because you'll be able to get the notes shorter because there won't be as much V in the first V in VCV to have to worry about overlapping. Probably make that a little longer. I don't know. Nope, never mind. Did I already do this? Did it jump back on me? I thought this looked familiar. Oops. Nah, I can't do anything about that. Oh well. Yeah, the other thing is I have to re-record some recordings for his voice bank, and I really don't want to, because I just don't want to like have to like set up the mic and all of that and like make sure it sounds okay just to record like 5 lines, even though it's actually more like 30 lines that have to be re-recorded. I just don't like recording. I don't like recording. I don't like autoing. It's just like the part of UTAU that I like is like the end product and also like the tuning aspect of it. It's just like the actual making the voice bank sucks. It's like, you know, the being able to, you know, use Kai's voice bank and be like, hey, this is a cool thing that I made that's more attractive to me than like the actual process of making it. Which is also why you see all of these half-baked covers showing up on my Twitter, because I'm spending more time playing around with this voice bank and like using it in covers than I am actually configuring it. But you know, it'll get done. For the record, the only pitch that I have left to do is this one, which, as you can see here, is like about half done, and then his lowest pitch, which is B flat 2, and then after that, all of the configurations will be done, minus the re-recordings, which will then also have to be reconfigured. Yay. There's that notification from my phone that probably came through the mic. Forgot to put that on airplane mode. that's good enough. Yeah, the other thing that I did when I was otoing this voice bank is that I otoed the first pitch, and then I just copied that and pasted it into the other 4. So that way they'd be closer to how I want them, as opposed to using more samplers base for all of them, which is all over the freaking place, and there's just so much that happens with more sampler that I'm like, it's good for the aliases, but it's not good for much else. My pitch control on this pitch is just awful. I've already done this. This looks like it's already been done. Maybe I did. Oh my god, like, I was so amazed when I found that, like, holy crap. Actually, I didn't even find it. Someone on Twitter told me. I mentioned them in one of the tweets really on that thread. Hey, it's partial. God. My recordings are just all over the freaking place. Oh yeah, going back to the art thing real quick. If any of you guys dabble in watercolors and have any recommendations for paints and paper brands, by all means, throw them my way. Because right now I have whatever pad they had at my university's bookstore and some Crayola watercolors, so... Is he really? Okay, I can turn my input up. My input's already up pretty high. Actually, I think part of the problem is that I'm not speaking directly into the mic. But I did turn my input up. Hopefully it's a little better. Yeah, maybe. I can hear myself better, but I'm like, I have this convenient knob that controls the balance between my input and output, so I don't necessarily hear the same thing you guys do. Of course, then again, if I turn the knob in the middle, I might actually hear the same thing you guys do. Ah! Oh god. Okay, that was loud. Oh, and there's so much noise. Isn't that fun? Okay, maybe that's a little better. I don't know. If anyone else is still having audio problems, let me know. Oh my god. Stop it. Stop it. There we go. That is one thing that I wish I could change about more samplers just make the click boxes on the parameters a little bit bigger, because it's really annoying when it starts, when, the UTAU just starts screaming at you instead of, like, moving whatever parameter you were trying to move. Yeah. Oh, hey, I still have OBS open in the background. You guys don't want to see that. Yeah, if you guys ever have, like, any kind of problem with the stream, like, do not be afraid to, like, shout at me. I'm still figuring this streaming thing out. And, it helps a lot if I know, like, when you guys are having audio problems or video problems or anything like that. And I realize that I'm still having problems with the dropping out. I don't know what to do about that right now, though. And I love you, Waffle Mr. Crepes. I was debating whether or not I should try to say that with a proper French accent, and then I was just like, nah, my French is terrible. This looks basically already done. Stop it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. Where's the other actual? I don't know which one's better. I already also lost my spot. Nope, I think this one is better, so I'm just gonna keep it. Ooh, nope, don't want that. Okay. I'm gonna stick it there. Yeah. Stop it. What? I'm confused. Did I inadvertently reference something that I don't know what you're talking about? Come on, scroll for me. There we go. Oh, okay, I was definitely about to be like, who's L? Yeah. What did I say? Because I don't know what you're talking about. I may have heard that at the title of something, right? Like, it's like an anime or a manga or something. I may have heard that before, but I don't actually know what you're talking about. What is happening? Oh, okay. Yeah, nope. This one's it's gonna be a little longer then. I don't foresee using any of these very often.
Yeah.
What did I do? Oh my god, I can hear my room echoing in this recording. No! Why? You know, I think part of the reason why I haven't gotten a webcam yet is because I still haven't actually set all of my stuff up at a desk, and I don't want all of you guys to see me very sadly in my current setup. Also, I'm getting hungry. I'm probably gonna jump off in maybe about 10 or 15 minutes to get the food that I still haven't eaten that's sitting on the stove in the kitchen. Oh god, my mic is crackling again. I'm sure in his own weird, emotionally constipated way he does. Ah. You better come back to me. Okay. I just wanted to get to the end of the H section. I just feel like the H section feels like it takes so long because it's the only row that has 3 variants, because there's, you know, H, B, and P all in one section, and it just feels like it takes forever to get out of the way. But then, like, once that's done, it's like half the voice bank is done just by doing those 3 sections. The other thing I want to do is I want to record a CVVC voice bank, but I'm like, I should probably just get the Korean done first. The other thing about the Korean that I keep thinking about is that I've gotten this new microphone set up, but the Japanese and English voice banks are recorded with my other mic, and if I want the Korean one to blend with them, I might want to record it on my old mic instead, but I really don't want to because I kind of enjoy this new mic. Yeah. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. I'm not necessarily as concerned about the Japanese one and the Korean one matching, since it's less common for those 2 languages to show up in the same song, but I would like for the English and the Korean voice banks to match up pretty well. My old mic is a Samson CO1U, and then I recently got an audio interface, so now I'm using a CAD GXL 2200. That's what I'm using right now, actually. And if you guys can't hear it, just suddenly out of nowhere, I got really, really congested. I legitimately thought about that, and I'm just like, Japanese maybe, English nope. Like, it just maybe eventually, but I'm just like, I'm good with English for a little bit, just because the Arbising voice thing just took so much out of me. Like, it was so hard to record and configure, and there's still wrong recordings that I just have not fixed, because I'm just like, nope, it's good enough, I'm done. That was me, wiping my hands off, since you guys still can't see me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, Reaper didn't work. Why didn't you do your magic thing? There we go. Yeah. 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 Stop it. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to mention, if any of you guys actually have any, like, questions about what I'm doing when I'm otoing, by all means go for it, but, literally anything is up for grabs, since I'm more easily able to, like, talk and do this at the same time than when I'm, editing USTs and VSQs, so, like, if you guys just want to talk about the weather, go for that too. The weather here is getting hot and I don't like it. I just want to get to the end of this section. Oh my god. Weird, there's like no voice bar on this one. Yeah, it's just... That's freaky. This one was already done. No! Like, the weather here has definitely, like, turned, and it's getting warm. Like, today it was probably in, like, the upper 70s. Sorry to anyone who uses Celsius. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Maybe, like, 25. But, and I don't like it. The thing that I really hate about where I live is just, like, some spring is like non-existent. Like, there's like 3 weeks of spring and then it's just in the 90s every day. This recording is weird. Can't really do anything about that right now though. Oh crap, look at that. Look at that clipping right there. Yeah, that has to be re-recorded. As I'm otoing, if I ever find any like bad recordings that need to be redone, I'll always write them down, and by write them down I mean put them in a note on my iPod, and I'll go back and re-record them and then reconfigure the oto, I mean. Right now I'm configuring all of the settings on the voice bank, so it basically just tells UTAU how to time things and what to stretch and what not to stretch and where to overlap all the notes and all of that fun stuff, which has to be done by hand for every single recording and every single combination of syllables in the case of VCV, and it's torture. How much more of this section is left? Oh my god, it never ends. Okay, there's no way I'm getting done with this before I die of starvation tonight. No, stream Y. Stream Y. Is it back? I hope it's back. YouTube is still telling me that it's bad. Okay, hopefully you can hear me this time. I really need to figure out what's wrong with my streaming settings, or perhaps the internet, to get that to work a little better. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just setting the timing for all of the notes, telling UTAU how to time them, what to stretch, what not to stretch, where to overlap them, all of that stuff. And yeah, like I said earlier, it's torture, because you have to do it for everything. Which means doing the same small little edits over and over again, like 2,000 times or more. I don't actually know how many lines this oto has in it, but it's a lot, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get to the bottom of the yon syllables for B, and then I'm going to go get dinner. So maybe about like 5 more recordings. I mean, the thing about making a voice bank is that you don't necessarily have to do it all at once. I would recommend when you're recording at least doing each pitch or expression all at once, but after you're done with that, you can work on the oto as fast as you really want. I am streaming, but probably not for very long because my stomach is eating itself. I'm just going to rush through these last few. Oh my god. whatever you do, please don't slap your voice bank into more sampler and then just call it finished, because more sampler's autos are not that good. At least do something to it. Commission someone to do it. Do an art trade with someone to do it. Get someone else to do it if you can't do it yourself. But please don't just slap it on more sampler and call it done. Please, I beg of you. Not just you, but anyone who uses UTAU. Just don't. Which, if any of you, I'm pretty sure most of you, if not all of you, follow me on Twitter. But if you're not, follow me on Twitter, and you can hear all of the random stuff that I do to test out his voice bank. I'm just going to call it testing it out and not, you know, playing around and wasting time with it, because that's really what it is. But, you know. Yeah. Yeah. No, that has to stay there. I mean, I'm trying to remember when I first recorded this. It was, I don't even know, towards the end of last year or something. I don't think it was this year. I could always go on my computer and find out when the files were created. Of course, I also re-recorded this voice bank like 5 times. I'm almost there, and then I can food. It just occurred to me that there's just something a little bit, like, weird about, like, I'm talking and you guys are hearing my voice, like, coming actually from me, but then I'm also doing this and it's, like, recordings of me, and I'm just like, whoa. I mean, the thing about it is that other languages almost always involve a lot more recording, and the configuration can be a lot more complex. So if you're feeling up for that challenge, you can, but generally I would recommend at least starting off with, like, you know, just a simple mono pitch CV Japanese voice bank just to get a feel for what it's like. Cause you know, for example, let's go on a little ride here. Not what I meant to click on. So, Kai's Arbising voice bank has 1,121 files, and is, what number even is that? 12,722 auto entries. Meanwhile, his Japanese one, which is the same 5 pitches, is 1,335 files and 5,271 auto entries. And that's for VCV Japanese. CV Japanese would be like a sixth of this. Oh my god, the clipping is killing me. This is interestingly the same string except for B that was also clipped earlier. So there's that. How much more? Okay, like 2 more strings, and then I'm eating dinner. And I don't think you guys want to just sit here and listen to me eat, so. Okay, I don't know why this one has no aliases, but it doesn't, and I'm a little perplexed by that. So I guess I don't know what happened to this. Yeah. Oh crap! I still have to keep going. I keep forgetting that I have to keep manually making the all of the entries for the string. I don't know why it doesn't have. Oh no, I'm so sorry for you. I hate when that kind of crap happens. Which reminds me, I should probably save this before something catastrophic happens to this too. Dang it. Yeah, this is the highest pitch in the voice bank. I'm like, I've thought about adding in another higher one, but I don't feel like screeching at F sharp 4 for like 2 hours because I might die. I think I have an extra one in here. What just happened? C sharp 4 is lower than F sharp 4. Okay, I'm dying of hunger. I'm not even going to listen to them anymore. I'm just going to do it based on how it looks. I can do this. Actually, that one. Good. Come on, one more string and then I can get dinner. I will reward myself with delicious food. And possibly overcooked rice because it's been sitting out there for like an hour. Nope, that one's fine too. What is this? Okay, cool. And then we're here, I'm done. We're at the beginning. Okay, that's it. I've made it to the who section. So I'm like about 3/4 of the way through it now. I feel pretty decent about that. I'm not going to look at an auto again for the rest of the night because holy crap, I hate it. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in for this little bit weird live stream. Probably be doing this again next time. I might try to figure out a better way of figuring out how to actually arrange all of this, because in case you guys didn't figure it out, because I tried to conceal it, I actually just have my background pulled up in a photo viewer in the background, and this is just a display stream, a display capture of my entire display that I've just like cropped the start bar and the toolbar at the top out of. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much, and I'll hopefully talk to you guys next week. Maybe you'll see my face, maybe not, we'll see. I just need to maybe just bite the bullet and buy a webcam. But yeah, bye.